Okay, so you know what is going on in your subconscious by what you are attracted to. We see messages, we see titles of videos, titles of podcasts where you see in big letters, follow these 3 steps and this is how money will chase you. Do these 3 things and money will chase you. Take this strategy to get money to chase you. Think about it. Do you want money to chase you? Huh? Do you want money to chase you? I want you to think about that question because on today's segment of Money Miracles and Magic of Unleashed Alchemy, we're going to get into that. All right. So let's hop right in. Now, I'm going to say this again. You know what is going on in your subconscious by what you are attracted to. Now, we can ask anyone on the street. We can ask 10 people, 100 people if they want more money, if they would like more money. Would you like more money? Now, the individual, if they are being absolutely honest, completely honest, they will answer with the resounding yes. And I hope that if I were to ask you, see you in person, listening to this through the podcast or watching this on YouTube, if I were to ask you, do you want more money? I would hope that you would answer with a resounding, confident yes. Okay. Now, if you were to ask another person the same question, some people, maybe that person would answer, but would be ashamed. So they wouldn't really answer with the resounding yes. Their answer would be unsure, a little less confident. Okay, maybe they would whisper their answer. But the end result is still yes. Okay, the end answer is still yes. All right, yes to wanting more money. So on the surface, it may sound good to say yes, I want money to chase me. But think about the words that you are using. Think about what you are saying and the energy behind saying that you want money to chase you. Let's take chase. If we look at the definition of chase, chase means that something is trying to catch up with you. Chase is implying that you are running from something. Again, something is trying to catch up with you. Does that sound like the association that you want to have with money? Think about it. No. No, I'll answer for you. No, 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 and no, infinitely no. So, if you are still watching this video, I'm guessing that you want to be available for more money to accompany you in lavish amounts in every part of your life, in every day of your life. I'm guessing that you have some inkling that you carry money codes, money keys for your desires. All right. So let's keep going. Why am I bringing this up? Why is this important to know when we talk about you embracing your sovereign being? So I see constant videos titled, get money to chase you. Money wants to chase you. All those titles that I said at the beginning. And if you were like me and you did click on those videos, there was a time when you did click on those videos, then you know that there is something going on in your subconscious, that there is some static happening in your subconscious surrounding money. Now, what I don't want you to do is to judge yourself. This is not a self-judgment. This is to be aware of the blind spots in our subconscious. All right. So What you attract, or what I should say in this case, what you're attracted to, it lets you know what's going on in your subconscious. It lets you know the identity that you are carrying in your nervous system. All right. So let me ask you these two questions. Do you want to run from money? Do you want money to chase you? At this point, your answer is no. All right. If you're still watching this video, if you're still listening on the podcast. All right. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to consider your feelings surrounding having more money. Because perhaps, and this was the case with me, when I was attracted to those videos, those messages, when I was listening to those messages, there was static in my nervous system where I was not willing to, in my body, to receive more money. I was running from more money. So let's keep going with this. So I want you to, first, consider your feelings around having more money, not just having money, but having more money. What comes up for you when you think about having more money? What does that look like? What does it feel like? What beliefs and stories come up? So, for example, do you think that to have more money means more work for you? That there's more work that you have to do to have more money? Does the story come up that you have to trade more of your time for money? Consider these. Consider these. You may find that you feel fear around having more money. And it's not the money, the increase of money that brings up the fear, but it is what you've told yourself about the responsibility of having the more money. It's the fear that comes up when you've told yourself that you want what you would have to do to receive and to maintain and to keep the more money. So, are you feeling fear around the responsibility of having more? Have you told yourself that the responsibility of having the increase in money, having the overflow of money, that responsibility is going to be hard? Or have you told yourself that you don't know if you can handle the more? Because perhaps you've seen people in your life with more money, but they didn't handle it well and the money went away. Again, when you become aware of these things, this is not to judge yourself. It's not to judge your experience with money that you have had up to this point. It's to be aware and to know, and as a sovereign being, to know that you can create a different experience. You get to have a different experience with money. So I want you to think and review the words that come up when you consider your money as it is right now. How would you describe your money as it is right now? The reason I'm proposing those questions is because the words that you use are very important. You already know, if you have been around Unleashed Alchemy for some time, one of the main enchanting, powerful, magical things that you can do to embrace your sovereign being is by getting into the power of what you say. Of what you say. Not what you believe, but what you say, the words that come out of your mouth. All right. So I want you to think about the words that you use to describe your money and understand that the words carry vibration of your creative power. All right. I want you to think of words right now that feel expansive. So for example, the word freedom might spark something within you. It may spark expansion in your body. And I want you to attach, that's just an example, but any word that feels expansive, that feels vibrant, that feels energetic to your body. I want you to attach that same word to your money. Again, this is not about belief. So when you do this, you have now created a standard for how the energy of money moves and exists in your life. Do you understand that? I'm going to say this again. When you attach words that are expansive to your money, you have now set the standard for how the energy of money, for how money in all its forms is to exist and move about in your life, into you, in your hands, in your bank accounts, in your pockets, in your purses, in your bags, book bags, luggages, everywhere around your house, from the north, south, east, and west. You create the standard for how money exists in your life, which does not include you chasing money, period. We're done with that. So start paying attention first to what you are attracted to. Start paying attention to what you listen to in regards to your money. Yes, you can apply this to anything else, but we're talking about money because what you listen to, what you take in, what you pay attention to, what you put your energy toward, it affects your frequency. It affects your energetic grid. It affects what you're able to receive, in this case, money. Yes, it affects all of that. So I want you to consider those questions. Gift yourself the time. It doesn't have to take all day. If you wanted to, fine, that's your business. But to answer those questions that I proposed to you throughout the episode, it can take 10 minutes. If you really want to turn it into a ritual, go outside and answer those questions. The words that come up for you as you're setting the standard for your money, go outside and speak those words into the ethers. If you really want to get magical with it, all right? Remember, you are the magic, you are the vessel, you are the money. And you set the standard for how money exists in your life. All right. So one thing that I want you to check out before we go, I have a book on my website, unleashedalchemy.com. It is an ebook and it's called Tales of a Money Maven, How Religious Programming Has Fucked Up Your Money. Get the book. All right. There are over 50, I believe there are over 50 questions in the back of the book. It's journal style where I ask you questions that you can use to evaluate your subconsciousness around money. These are questions that I have used. There are questions that I still use. So I am sharing that with you in the book. Tales of a Money Maven, How Religious and Other Programming Has Fucked Up Your Money. Get it back. Reclaim your money. Reclaim your prosperity. Reclaim your abundance. All right. Until next time, be rich, be wealthy, be sovereign.